I don't have an actual factual number.
Okay. And how did you tell his mom that her son was gone?
So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
One could watch this and think that you really hate because of the things that you post on Instagram.
And I die in the street about this shit, man. This shit dead serious to me. And then when I do rap shit, man, this shit is full of this type.
Hold up. 50 Cent just dropped leaked clips from T.I.'s documentary. And listen to this. It hits hard.
Recognize who that is?
Yeah, that's Phil. Okay. Oh, that's his body. I felt that, you know, all of those rounds were fired for me, you know.
What? Listen to this. What really goes down when the internet's most infamous troll, 50 Cent, stops joking around and actually makes a real move. On March 5th, 2026, he dropped and then quickly erased an Instagram screenshot with one explosive headline: 50 Cent reportedly developing Surviving T.I. and Tiny documentary. That single post sent shockwaves through the entire rap industry. Because hold up, this wasn't some joke. This felt like a calculated warning. To really grasp why that deleted post hit so differently, you've got to rewind back to the exact moment that first cracked this whole situation wide open.
50 Cent and T.I. is back at it. 50 Cent jumped out there. He let him know that he's putting out a documentary, Surviving T.I. and Tiny. Man, listen to this. I'm going to play where T.I. told 50 that he was getting ready to do the same thing to him. And then now 50 announced that he did it. We already know 50 know how to.
It all kicked off with what was supposed to be a straight-up celebration. Listen to this. T.I. and 50 Cent were deep in talks for a versus battle. That legendary stage where rap icons go head-to-head, catalog versus catalog, bar for bar. T.I. even framed it publicly as a moment to honor each other's work, a mutual respect vibe fans had been waiting on for years. Two of the most accomplished artists of their era finally sharing space, giving flowers to everything they built from the ground up.
First, like, you know, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and that nigga talk about this, bro. This nigga, I ain't just called a nigga out the blue. Me and that nigga talk about this.
You talking about you were 50?
Yeah, man, we talk about this shit, man. This shit just come out of nowhere.
But then hold up. 50 Cent did exactly what he's known for. He flipped the whole narrative. He straight up denied any deal was ever locked in, played clueless in interviews, acted like the entire Versus talk was brand new to him, and then publicly brushed off T.I. with a savage nickname, King Rat. In hip-hop culture, listen to this, that's not just light shade. That's a direct snitch allegation, one of the most damaging labels you can put on someone in the streets. And he made it crystal clear to T.I. Keep his name out of his mouth.
You can't even look forward to going home.
It's gonna be hell.
Where you going after you get out? The neighborhood ain't accepting that. You bitch ass nigga, we heard you's a rat. Look, even for me personally, my character, they would try to attack my character. They'll say he a rat or he just snap.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is ask him who I told him.
T.I. was heated. And listen to this. He didn't keep it behind closed doors. He pulled up on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and let everything fly exactly how he felt. We already talked about this. We already agreed on what we were doing. Then the moment I stepped out, he acted like he ain't know what was going on. The betrayal, it was real, it was loud, and it was out in the open. And hold up, the timing made it hit even harder. T.I.'s single Let Him Know had just taken the #1 spot on urban radio and was breaking into the mainstream top 40. He was in the middle of a real comeback run, the kind that reminds everybody why his name still holds weight. And then boom, 50 Cent's dismissal lands right in the middle of that momentum, casting a shadow over everything T.I. was trying to rebuild. But that social media call-out, that was just the beginning. 50 wasn't even close to finished. There's regular rap beef. Then there's something way bigger than music, and 50 crossed into that territory fast. he jumped back on Instagram, his favorite battlefield for 2 decades, and posted a wild, unflattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tamika "Tiny" Harris. The caption doubled down, telling T.I. again to keep his name out of his mouth. But listen, the real message wasn't even in the caption, it was in who he chose to target. The moment Tiny got pulled into it, everything changed. This wasn't just rap anymore. 50 made it clear he was coming for the whole family, in public, with millions watching every move.
At this point, 50 Cent should literally rent a wife and kids and have them make diss responses. And the fact that he would actually have to rent a woman and children to like him and to respond on his behalf on for T.I. and Tiny's whole family is telling.
T.I. wasn't about to sit back and take that quietly. Hold up. He fired back the only way someone at his level knows how, through the music, and he moved fast. He dropped multiple diss tracks back to back, including War and The Right One. And listen to this, he came fully loaded. On The Right One, he took a direct shot at 50 Cent, calling him a small man in a big shell. And that line wasn't random, it was aimed straight at the ego, the same ego 50 built his entire image on, power, dominance, and pure bravado.
The Right One. And be honest with y'all, man, T.I.'s a lyricist, man. T.I. was going. He was barring up on this one. He was barring up. You know what I'm saying? He brought up the Jada Kiss situation, you know, when 50 and Jada went at it. Fat Joe, of course, Murder Inc. We all know how historic that battle is to hip hop. You know, the whole house situation, you know, with the burned down house, that whole situation, you know, with you mad at Puff because he was going at your baby mom. So yeah, he was definitely throwing some shots at 50. And to me, at a point, and like I said, I'm a fan of both T.I. and 50 Cent. It gets to a point with like the memes and stuff like that. Like, all right, we're at this limit, in my personal opinion, man. It's time to bar up.
But listen to this. The line that really had the internet going crazy was when T.I. called 50 Cent a 50 dispatcher, a straight-up accusation that he cooperated with federal authorities, even claiming there was paperwork from inmates locked up with 50's name on it. That's not just a clever bar. That's a serious documented claim, the kind that doesn't just stay on streaming platforms. It travels way beyond that. And then hold up, the Harris family took it to another level and made it feel like full-on war. T.I.'s sons, King Harris and Damani Harris, jumped in and dropped their own diss tracks aimed straight at 50 Cent.
I treated people how they treated us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that I wanted to do. It was just something that just had to be done.
Domani, also you dropped a record. It felt more, did you get any inspiration from, like, when I heard it for the first time, it reminded me of like Meet the Grams?
I would say, man, I just have questions. I just genuinely have questions, and I'm an understanding individual, and I know the reason people do certain things, it probably stem from how they grew up, how they was raised, even me.
This had clearly gone past 2 rappers trading shots. Listen to this. This was a whole family stepping in and standing together. For most people in the industry, that kind of united front usually means it's time to ease off. But hold up, 50 Cent had already shifted into something way more serious than captions or diss records, and the entire industry was about to see exactly what that meant. Before that documentary threat fully clicks, you've got to understand what 50 had just pulled off, because that's the real reason everything went silent the moment that screenshot dropped. Toward the end of 2025, 50 stepped in as executive producer on Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a Netflix docuseries that hit the culture like a bomb. The project shot straight to #1 on Netflix as soon as it dropped, diving deep into the wide-ranging allegations against Sean "Diddy" Combs, alongside years of industry behavior people had whispered about but never really seen exposed on that level. It instantly became the most talked-about documentary of the year, and 50's influence was all over it. Netflix later clarified he didn't have full creative control and that participants weren't paid, but let's be real, that didn't change how people saw it. What mattered was the impact, and the impact hit Diddy's image hard. 50 proved something the hip-hop world hadn't fully processed before. A documentary can hit harder than a diss track, it lasts longer than a lawsuit, and it cuts deeper than social media noise. It doesn't disappear, it stays up, it spreads, it follows you everywhere. So when 50 dropped that now-deleted post hinting at a T.I. documentary, people froze mid-scroll. "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc?" he wrote. "Dame thought I wasn't coming." No translation needed. He wasn't talking about making a song about T.I. He was talking about doing to Clifford Harris exactly what he just did to Diddy. Build the narrative, find the platform, let the cameras speak louder than any record ever could. And then, listen to this, the title made it even more intense. The name itself was the weapon, Surviving T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris. Anyone paying attention to the headlines over the past few years instantly knew what that was pointing at.
Since 50 posted that he's doing the documentary, maybe you believe him. He just posted it this morning. But anybody in the loop knows that T.I. and Tiny have had several allegations of SA.
And listen, exactly what kind of documentary was this shaping up to be? Built almost identically to the Sean Diddy Combs Reckoning format, the rumored project was said to be designed to pull those assault allegations against T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris back into the spotlight. Allegations that had been circulating publicly since 2020, now resurfacing at possibly the worst timing for their public image. Gossip reporter Tasha K., known for being right in the middle of messy celebrity controversies, claimed she spoke to sources close to 50's camp. According to her, the project was already moving behind the scenes. Now hold up, those claims haven't been officially confirmed, but in hip-hop and celebrity drama, sometimes the rumor alone does the damage. And 50 knows exactly how that game works. That's why the deleted post felt so calculated. He dropped it at peak traffic, let it spread like wildfire across every platform, let blogs and headlines run with it, then pulled it back, leaving just enough mystery to make people question what was really coming next. Even the caption had a sharp jab aimed directly at T.I.'s promo run. "Hope this don't mess up your tour. They're going to ask about those 20 cases." That wasn't random at all. T.I. had been positioning his album Kill the King as his final chapter, a legacy move to close out his run on his own terms. Every interview was supposed to be about the music, every headline about the artistry, but 50 was setting it up so none of that would matter. He was aiming to shift the entire conversation. And here's where it gets complicated. The legal history behind those allegations isn't simple. In fact, it's layered and messy, with narratives being twisted from all sides. Back in March 2021, attorney Tyrone A. Blackburn held a press conference that shook the industry. He revealed that over 30 women had come forward accusing T.I. and Tiny of serious offenses, claims ranging from drugging and kidnapping to assault and intimidation, alleging a pattern that stretched over more than a decade across multiple states. The details were heavy, and for weeks it completely dominated entertainment headlines.
It's already been known that there are 30 women, at least, that have had allegations of being kidnapped, drugged, raped. Y'all know what those words mean. And 50 Cent is saying he got 20 of them in this Surviving T.I. and Tiny coming.
The LAPD actually opened a full investigation. They took the claim seriously enough to assign resources and interview potential witnesses. After a thorough review, though, they decided not to press any criminal charges, pointing to the statute of limitations as the main hurdle. Too much time had passed between the alleged incidents and the formal complaints for prosecutors to act. That doesn't mean innocence. It just shows the system has strict time limits, and that window had closed long ago. On the civil side, the fight lingered, but in August 2024, a federal judge dismissed one of the highest-profile lawsuits, with T.I. and Tiny's team stating the court found the plaintiff's claims lacked merit. T.I. and Tiny stayed firm throughout. "We are innocent of these false allegations. We will not be shaken down." The legal record, criminal investigations closed, civil cases dismissed, gave them documented protection in court. But 50 Cent wasn't filing briefs in a courthouse. He was playing in a media ecosystem where perception moves faster than any ruling ever could, and he had already shown how to dominate it with precision. Curtis James Jackson III didn't become 50 Cent by accident, and he didn't rise as the music industry's most feared media operator by accident either. His rise is one of the most calculated transformations in entertainment history. From battle rapper to multi-platinum artist, from social media provocateur to full-scale documentary producer, every stage more dangerous than the last. In the early 2000s, diss tracks could end careers. By the 2010s, Instagram posts, memes, captions, and timed photos humiliated targets before they even had their morning coffee. By the mid-2020s, 50 upgraded his arsenal to something the industry had no defense against. The Diddy doc made that crystal clear. It proved 50 could attach his name to a project that would live indefinitely on Netflix, served algorithmically to new audiences for years, reshaping public perception of anyone he targeted. Netflix's notes that he lacked full creative control or didn't pay participants didn't soften the blow. The result was what mattered. After the series aired, 50 let everyone know there were roughly 140 hours of unused footage, openly hinting he could drop it on YouTube. No network, no filter, no approval. That wasn't talk, it was a standing threat backed with receipts. Now the same power was aimed at T.I. The difference between a rapper throwing shade in a track and a media mogul producing a documentary isn't just scale, it's permanence. Songs fade, docs live forever. They become the first result when someone Googles your name, follow you everywhere, and linger throughout your career. 50 Cent understood that better than anyone. And now the big question, where does that leave T.I.? He's at a crossroads no artist wants, trying to secure a legacy while defending a reputation someone with massive resources is actively attacking. Kill the King was supposed to be his farewell, his final bow after 2 decades of grinding, surviving every challenge the industry threw at him. A #1 single, a full promo campaign, the kind of victory lap only a rapper of his stature earns. He helped blueprint Atlanta before Atlanta delivered trap music to the world. Instead, every single conversation about that album now carries a shadow shaped exactly like 50 Cent. And he made sure it wasn't just the documentary threat doing the work. He pulled it straight into the music too, on the Power Origins theme song tied to his long-running TV empire. He spit bars directly referencing the sexual assault allegations against T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris, rapping, "Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta." Listen, there's no other way to read that line. It's a precise, calculated hit designed to make sure those allegations stay alive in every headline, every comment section, and every discussion about T.I. for as long as possible. The documentary itself, still officially unconfirmed. No network announcement, no release date on any calendar. But here's the thing. 50 Cent has earned something almost nobody in his position ever does, the credibility of his own threats. When he went quiet before the Diddy doc, the industry laughed. Nobody's laughing this time. So here's the question to sit with long after this video ends. Is 50 Cent a fearless truth teller holding powerful men accountable for things the legal system couldn't touch? Or is he a man nursing a personal grudge, armed with a production budget and a platform, turning court-dismissed allegations into ammunition in what was supposed to be a rap battle? The line between justice and revenge has never been this blurred, and T.I.'s entire legacy might hang on which side of that line 50 Cent is really standing. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button to support the channel. Subscribe to Holly Hype TV for the latest celebrity news, and turn on notifications so you never miss a post. Until next time, peace out.